Hello, everybody. Welcome to Fearless Fridays. How are you guys? It's the end of the week. This is episode 4 of season 2, Fearless Fridays, where we discuss strategies, tools, and tips to transform your fear into fuel to unlock your true potential. So today we have an awesome guest with us. Today, we're going to be hearing about how to unleash your it factor by Miss Ty Helms. So let me go ahead before we get her on here. I would like to introduce her. So let me read this to you. Miss Ty Ty is a versatile and talented writer, speaker, coach, and motivator, aka the reflective purpose strategist, who was born and raised in New York City. She has a passion for sharing her insights and experiences on various topics such as spirituality, personal development, fear, our favorite topic, love, peace, and urban issues. She uses her words to inspire, challenge, and empower her audiences with honesty and meaning. Therefore, let me introduce you all to Miss Ty Helms.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you for being here. I know there's a little bit of a delay, so those of you that are watching or if you're on the replay, yes, we're aware it's a little bit of a delay. You can see my background's a little different today. So we are taking Fearless Friday on the road. So that might be causing a little bit of the delay. Either way, I'm so happy to have you here. It's been a minute since I've seen you, but glad to see your beautiful face.
Thank
So
you.
let's get started in this conversation. When we talked, you told me about, kind of what you are doing. I'd love for you to share with the audience. The name of your business is Positive Expressions. So talk to us a little bit about what is Positive Expressions.
Positive expressions is all about expressing yourself the most honest, positive, happy, self-fulfilling way possible. There's no right or wrong way. It's just about being your authentic self. That's it.
Awesome. Okay. And when you talk about the programs that you have associated with your business, like how, what does that look like? What are the programs that you currently, let me rephrase that. With Positive Expressions being your business, who are you targeting to assist?
Okay, so with positive expressions, I tend to target adults 35 to 45 years old who feel that they're not living their true purpose. So I help guide them through the process of self-discovery, self-expression, and in order for them to lead a more happy and fulfilled life with no regrets.
That's the part right there, though, that no regrets piece, because a lot of times we look back at what we coulda, woulda, shoulda, right? And that gives us a feeling
Exactly.
of regret. When the reality is if we go through some time and training with others who help us understand it's not a regretful situation, it's either a learning opportunity, maybe it was a pivot, a change, or something. So we don't want to go back to the shoulda, woulda, couldas, right? So, all
Exactly.
right. So I know you talked about the it factor. That's really what we wanted to talk about today. So I did, like normal, on my Fearless Fridays, I try to take an opportunity to identify what the definition of something is. So I took an opportunity to take a look at two things: one, the X factor, and then the it factor. So I think originally I was thinking, oh, it's the X factor. I'm like, no, she says it factor. So I looked at the definition of both and they're very similar, right? So the it factor is often associated with qualities such as charisma, confidence, presence, talent, and indefinable charm that makes someone compelling and memorable. That's your it
Exactly.
factor, right? Like, so in my mind, when I'm thinking, yeah, that would be the it factor. So when you think about the program that you have created with Positive Expressions and the coaching and development that comes along with that, how would you determine or identify or define that it factor?
Um, I guess the best way I can sum up your it factor is, and I gotta quote a mentor of mine, is your secret sauce. That's your it
Mm,
factor. Yeah,
okay,
that's the
nice.
thing that is that, it's that little extra on, that little extra dressing that you wanna put on the salad or something like that. It's that little key secret ingredient that is going to boost everything.
So, and it's only, it's only specific to you, right? That it factor is, it's a personal thing. It's your secret sauce, right? It's just
Yes,
your little fairy dust. It's your sweetness. It's whatever that is that you're putting on top, that cherry on top kind of thing. Okay.
exactly.
Awesome. And let me see. This first question I have, I know I've asked a couple, but one of the questions I have here is, how does the it factor play a role in your coaching process? So when you think about, you have someone that you're assisting and you're trying to help them identify their it factor, how does that help you in the process, in your coaching process for them or
Well,
with them?
it's a couple of steps before we can get to the it factor. I mean, you actually have to, which is why I'm a reflective purpose strategist, because you have to be reflective of what's happened in your life. You have to know where you came from in order to know where you currently are and to move forward to where you want to go. So it starts with a lot of self reflection, a lot of actually truly looking yourself in the mirror and being honest about where you currently are, what you see, what you like, what you don't like.
And in that process, and I guess where I'm getting to, is in the process, it looks like, you have four different stages of identifying what that, kind of the it factor. You talked about, where you were, where you're going, and where you are and where you're going, but you broke it down into four kind of quadrants, right? Four stages of things that you, look at, or that you work with your clients on. Can you talk to us a little bit about those four stages?
Okay, so then the first stage is your self awareness. So, with your self awareness, this is where you identify all your strengths, all your values, your passion, your goals. Um, you try to recognize all the things that are limiting you, what you have been taught to believe about yourself, because words are very, very powerful. So, if you told that, oh, you're just slow or you're lazy, you tend to translate that into your adult life. And a lot of people don't understand that that's what happens. And those
Right.
limiting beliefs ends up going into fear. And fear is a non motivator. The next stage is self expression. So here, you're developing how you communicate with people. Some people are not good in front of other people and talking. Some people need to write. So I'm trying to help you express yourself the best way that works for you. It could be dancing, it could be singing, it can be writing, it can be art. It's whatever that brings that expression to you that you're comfortable with and that you can relay a message to someone else. The third stage, excuse me, is self acceptance. And for that, it's looking at your self image and your self esteem and loving yourself. Self love is the key to everything, where you're not sitting here seeking approval or permission to do anything. And then the last stage is self creation. So this, you put everything together and then you start to chart your vision, the plan that you want for your future, how things are currently aligning to your authenticity of who you want to be and where you want to go.
Got it. I appreciate that. Thank you. I have a couple comments here. We're going to take a quick pause. I wanted to say hello. Charlene says hello. We just spoke of her. So Charlene says hello to you. Also, we've got Mac Wells on and Miss Jeanette Stewart as well. That I can see that have currently commented. One of the comments from Jeanette says, see yourself as God does. So that was one of the
Yeah.
comments that she just put up. So thank you, Jeanette, for that comment. So again, as we talk about, the program that you put forth, is this something that you do through a master class? Are these like moduled classes? How do you roll out this program? And then secondly, how are your clients, what has been one of the, well, let me go to the first one. How do you roll out these programs? Let's talk about that first.
Okay. I do have master classes. I have master classes and I do have boot camps that will be starting up in October, mid-October. And I do have a self-guided program where you can do everything online. So it's filled with like a workbook where you'd have
Awesome.
different worksheets where you can practice things out.
Got it. And then what tools? So now we know that there's programs, right? That you have your
Mhm.
master classes and boot camps. What are some of the tools or the strategies that you employ that you can share with us? Because you can't tell us, all of your wonderful secret sauce, secrets for yourself. But what are some of the strategies that you employ to help your clients tap in though to their like inner potential, or to unlock that X factor? What are some of those that you use in your coaching sessions?
That's a very good question without trying to give away too much information. Um,
one
yeah.
little one little thing.
Oh, yeah, that's okay. You're making this really hard for me. um, hmm. Well, I think the number one strategy is really just a self-assessment of it. It doesn't hurt to take a piece of paper and to just write down the first few thoughts that come to your mind about you, how you currently see yourself. You got to start knowing that first. So I think that's the number one strategy, because you really have to just do it. Just clear everything, just drown out the noise. Take like 5-10 minutes and just sit here and ask yourself, who am I? And just write whatever comes to mind.
Right.
Don't try to think about it. Don't try to analyze it. And matter of fact, put yourself on a timer. Just time yourself for like 10 minutes and write down as many words as you can about you.
Hmm. Ooh, that's a scary thing to do.
Exactly.
But it's cool because when you're really self-aware, like when you're self-aware, like you'll start writing stuff, and you're right, because your mind will start wanting to think about, okay, well, I should, oh no, I don't want to say
Right.
that. And but the reality is, like you just said, just write it out. Talk about, like, really think about all the things that you are, you know, and real,
Mhm.
and that's a pretty cool assessment. I don't think I've done that in a while. That might be something I need to do too. Just take an
Yeah,
inventory of me, you know.
exactly.
So that's
Exactly.
cool. So what inspired you to create Positive Expressions Coaching, or LLC? What inspired you to create this company?
Actually, it started with there's a poetry book I wrote years ago. And I grew up shy. I'm very shy, secretive person. I used to be bullied as a child and everything. So my first book was titled Muted Whispers, and it was about having a voice, not being afraid to say what I need to say, be who I need to be. And that's how it all started. Once I saw that I put that first book out, and I had a great feedback from that. And then I said, wow, people need this. There's so many people that are just muted for no reason. Are they muted because of the experiences of what they've gone through? And sometimes we mute ourselves and don't even realize it. So that's how positive expressions
Yes.
came to be.
Yeah. What were some of the challenges? Excuse me, because we talk about Fearless Fridays, right? So I know we're talking
Mhm.
about, how to find that it factor within you, right? That's an area of expertise that you have in terms of pulling out, right? Helping us, your clients, pull that information together and understand what is our secret sauce, right? And then
Mhm.
taking that secret sauce, and pardon me if I get ahead, but taking that secret sauce and figuring out how we overlay that in all the different areas of our lives. So to your point, we can live, our best life, the best expression of our life right today. But what are some of the challenges though that you faced? You talked about being bullied, you talked about being a little bit more of an introvert, and but it takes more than that for you to stand before a class of individuals and help them to see themselves. And you know but you built this program for others so that they don't have to go through life or experience some of the things, or help them to understand even through your own experiences. So what are the challenges that you faced building this
I
company?
The greatest challenge was actually just doing it because I've always been, like I said, yes, I was bullied, but I was always the one where people gravitated to me. They've always was around
Mm.
me, but I never felt inclusive of anything. So I'm always in the room and I felt like I was invisible. So, it's getting out
Yes.
there to actually do it, and I'm even though I have this program and it's my passion to help people and I'm out here helping people every single day. I mean, yes, I'm online, but it doesn't even matter. I can be at work. I can just be commuting to work and people will just gravitate to me and I'm still doing this positive trying to help them, but I still sit back and it's like the little girl inside of me is like, "Wait a minute. I don't wanna be out here. I don't wanna be in the spotlight," you know? And
Mm.
that's when it's like, "Uh-oh, that little girl's coming." But so that's why I thank you, my beautiful sister, because inviting me here, it just opened the door for me. It really did, because this is something I've been doing a long time, but I don't put myself out there enough.
Well, yes, you're right. And if you don't, then this is always a wonderful place for you to come to. I know when we first met, that was one of the things you said. And I was
Yes.
like, what? What are you talking about? Like, what? This, you? No, not you. But yeah, I mean, you know you best, right? Like we're meeting
Yes.
you and we're getting to understand and know you. But it still is amazing to me because the process of overcoming, right?
Mhm.
You created this company, you created this program. I looked at the testimonials on your webpage. People love what you're telling, like what you're communicating to them and what you're teaching them. They love the way that um, the tools that you provided them. So it's so interesting to see or hear when you say that you're so shy and kind of the little girl's like, no, I don't want to be in the front. But you're
Yes.
so, I mean, you built this amazing program, this amazing company, and then these wonderful programs that are truly helping people. So, I mean, I love that. I mean, I think that is the epitome of what fearlessness is for me, right? It doesn't matter what it is, you do it and you do it anyway, right? Like you may not be the one that wants to stand out in front all the time, but look at what you've built. You're doing it anyway, right? So that the process of just continuing to put that one foot in front of the other, to continue to put yourself out there, even in whatever fashion, small steps, large steps,
Mhm.
whatever it is, it's still that you're still taking the steps. I think that's what this is all about, right? That's Fearless Fridays. That's fearlessness, period, right? Not just on Fridays. I named
Exactly.
this show Fearless Fridays, but we're talking about how to live a fearless life, right? So it's back to
Mhm.
what you're saying in terms of positive expressions. It's about living an excited and happy and joyous and positive existence, right? you mentioned to me, I know when we met, like your words were always very positive. Anything that we were talking about, when we were talking about just, the process, right, of writing a book, and just all the different steps and all the things. I mean, we had so many different conversations, but what I just loved about you and the group of women that, we had spent time with,
Mhm.
it was always about, another positive word, right? How we were supporting
Yes.
each other and nurturing each other and helping each other, to get to that next step and next phase. And I mean, look at this. You've been doing this for a while. You've built an amazing program, right? An awesome business. And, again, you have the testimonies to support that. And I love that. I just think I commend you for just continuing to show up for us, right? Because we need
Mhm.
it, right? Many of us are looking for um, coaches that we can relate to, that can assist us to find, figure ourselves out so we can live our best life. So, I mean, I just think that that's just an awesome and amazing. It's just awesome and amazing for you to do that as a human being, right? And caring. A lot of times people say they care, but you don't see how they show up. So I see how you show up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And can I say, and listen, I appreciate you, but I really can't take all the credit. I mean, I really have to, just like, one of your viewers say, it's how God sees you. So I have to give glory to God,
Yes.
because I wouldn't
Absolutely.
be here without that. And
Yep.
it's like I said, when you writing down how you see yourself, you're tapping into how God sees you and how He wants you to
Mhm.
be. So that's why I do it. Because I mean, honestly, my only fear, so to speak, is displeasing God. I'm not fearful of man.
Oh,
I'm fearful of not obeying
ooh,
my assignment. That's what it is. So, and then
do
I
that.
have a support system. So like you and all the other ladies that that I was with, I know everybody don't have a support system, but when you step out and you do what God wants you to do, your tribe will show up, and that will be your support system for life.
Not telling no story with that. No,
Yeah.
that's like, I wish I had. They sometimes they have these sound cards. I don't have a sound card, but I'm like, yes, 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 and yes, because he is the ultimate. Listen. I don't care about what nobody else said, but I know who I don't want to displease, and that's him. Period. Point blank. End
Exactly.
of story. No,
That's right.
that's an absolute no for me. Mm-mm. We're not doing that
Yep.
today. So, so
Yes.
so let me get back to some of these questions I had here. So in the hold on. Did you count it? Okay, you did talk about just your obstacles. So in the program, what is one of the testimonials? I mean, I know what I said, but what are some of the things that you've seen from your clients as they've gone through your program and they've come out on the other side? What are some of the things that you are most proud of when you think about what that transition or that transformation has looked like with your clients coming through your program?
I think I'm most proud that people come out of it reborn, basically. I mean, they come out with a fresh perspective. And now that fear is gone. They no longer muted. And then they're stepping out with more confidence. And I really appreciate that, because now, just like we were talking before we got on, it's about being able to say no and having no regrets and walking your own path. So I'm really proud that I can see that. And yes, I've been doing this for a long time. So I have people who have been with me years ago, and just in passing, they'll come and they'll thank me. It's like, hey, they'll give me, like, this is what's going on in my life. This is what I did. And, and they want to introduce me to the family and all this other stuff. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like, oh, this is wonderful. And they wouldn't have had that before. They have this new pep in their step about their own existence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's beautiful. Yay. Yeah, I think I can imagine any better outcome, right? I think that many of us, like, I know that I have friends and family that we counsel at different points in time, and I think there's nothing better than when you're able to impart some wisdom or an experience or a way of doing something or a tool or a tip or a strategy, whatever the case may be, to someone that you love, and you see them implement that and you see their life change for the better, right? Um,
Yes.
you
Yes.
see whatever is happening, you see the positive impacts of your words on, in their life. So I love that. I think that's, I know for me, it's very gratifying, right? I feel very good about that because it means that I'm helping you um, be the best human that you can be, right? Like that's
Right.
it. Like
Right.
I know for me, every day I wake up, I say, okay, God, all I'm asking from you today is just allow me to, or show me, or help me to be the best version of myself that I can be today, whatever that means. However, I can help someone, support somebody, whatever the case is, so that I am following the path that you've set forth for me, and that I'm not leaning on trying to just do it Talina's way and do whatever Talina wants to do, right? Like I just think that that's such a it's a rewarding feeling for me. So I, I'm
Yes. Yeah.
I totally get that. Yeah, totally get that. So if you had one main thing to say to the audience, something that you want them to take away from the conversation today, in terms
Mhm.
of identifying or helping them to identify their it factor, right?
Mhm.
Um, what would that be?
No man is an island, and I know that's cliche, but we all are here for a reason. So we all play one part into the big whole of making it a better world for all of us. I don't know that it, it's just like what just to know that one little thing you can do of being you, you can set a whole movement. You can change an entire country just by you showing up being you.
Very true. I had this conversation with my daughter, and I remember telling her she wanted to try to accomplish something, and she was really trying to be supportive of someone, and so there was a conversation around how to do that, and then also just like the other person's like, oh, I don't really need that, and she's like, well, I'm not really sure what to do. I said, you know what, sweetheart, you just have to be you. Just be you. Be the authentic you that you are, because a lot
Exactly.
of times we think we have to be something else when we just need to be ourselves. Because a lot of times people leaning on, or what they're looking for from us, is for us just to be ourselves, to bring ourselves to the party, right? To bring ourselves to the conversation, to bring ourselves, not who we think we need to be for someone else, right? Or
Hmm.
what we think we need to be because someone else of the they say that we should. It's really just be you. Just be you. Like, you know, because by you being your authentic self, like you just said, you never know whose life you save, what you'll change in this world. You just don't know, right? So it's just important that we show up as who we are, truly are, right? And that's why another reason why I feel like you're here, right? It's about helping us all to
Exactly.
get to the root of who we are, right? The it factor, the secret sauce. What is it that I'm bringing into the world, or that I'm not bringing into the world because I'm not aware, right? And I need to be made aware so that I
Hmm.
can show up my authentic self, and I can, sprinkle, like I said, that fairy dust, your words, the secret sauce, right? Because that's the gift that God has given us, right? And we're just maybe
Hmm.
not dialed in or tapped into it. So I appreciate the fact that is a passion of yours, is to help us to see ourselves in that way, to tap into that. So thank you for that. Definitely.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
yes, I've definitely appreciated having you here. Always love our time together. I know that, there's a couple ways that anyone that has an interest in spending some time with you or getting to know you even on a deeper level, or potentially participating in any of your programs, I'm going to drop in the chat right now.
Mm-hmm.
1 second. So I'm dropping in the chat right now the access to your webpage.
Okay.
Just drop that in the chat. And also, you have a free gift for those that are watching now, and if you're on the replay. So I'm going to go ahead and drop that also in the chat. Hold on. I'm going to do that now as well. All right. Hold on. I'm just putting that in. Okay. I've also dropped that in the chat. Uh-oh, looks like I have one little error right here. Let me try this one more time. Looks like it didn't go. Let me try this one again. I'm going to drop your webpage one more time. Looks like there was an error. Okay, so I've dropped those in the chat for, like I said, for those that are watching, or if you are on replay, then you will have that information so that you can reach out to Ty. And also, where are we at right now? Hold on. Before I close any Fearless Friday, I love to close it with a quote. So I know today we're talking about your secret sauce and your it factor, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you call it, right? The it, your it
Yes.
factor. And so the quote I have for today says, "Positive expression is the key to unlocking your true potential and discovering the it factor within you." And that was by Mr. Tony Robbins. So,
See, there we go. That's
definitely
perfect.
on to something. This is not a new concept, right? Not a new concept. Absolutely. So this is really just about, people tapping in. So, that song, what do you say? Tap in, a tap, tap, tap in, a tap, tap, tap in. So we all got to do that. We got to tap in.
Yes,
I know I
yes.
had no real music behind me. I wish I had that song playing though right now. But definitely, I appreciate you being here and for coming on, and just for your courage to be on here with me. We're gonna keep putting one foot in front of the other, and we're gonna continue to do this. Whether it's this one, we are planning to do a few other things with some of the ladies on a forum. So I cannot wait for that to happen. So definitely, you'll be a part of that. And for those of you who have been here today, next week, please make sure you invite a friend, and be sure to follow, like, comment, share this episode of Fearless Fridays, as well as you can follow me on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube. So if it's on Facebook, it's going to be at I am Talina. And if it's on, that's on YouTube, it's I am Talina. It's on Facebook, it is Talina Speaks. So be sure to follow there as well, so that we can continue to grow this community. We really appreciate you for being here each week. We thank you, whether you're here live with us on the replay. Thank you for showing up for us. Just thank you for being here each week. So that's going to wrap another episode of Fearless Fridays, where we invite you to embrace your fears, challenge self-limiting beliefs, and fearlessly succeed anyway. So I appreciate you all. Thank you. Thank you, Ty, for being here. Again, the name of her company is Positive Expressions. Take an opportunity, download your free gift, and go to her website and check out or look for the upcoming programs and websites, master classes that she has coming up. So thanks again, guys. See you later. Bye.
Bye. Bye.